Imagine a world where one man's ambition, intelligence, and ruthlessness forged an empire that would shape Western civilization for centuries to come. That man was Julius Caesar. How did Caesar's upbringing and early life experiences shape his ambition and approach to acquiring power? Born into the patrician Julii family, Julius Caesar's early life was marked by the social and political upheaval of Rome. From an early age, Caesar showed a keen intellect and fierce ambition. Caesar's lineage boasted ancient origins, including claims of descent from the goddess Venus. Despite this noble heritage, Caesar's family was not particularly influential or wealthy by the standards of Roman aristocracy. However, his upbringing in the Suburra, a diverse and vibrant district of Rome, would have exposed him to the complexities and contrasts of Roman life from an early age. Caesar's father, also named Gaius Julius Caesar, served as a praetor and had a relatively modest political career. His mother, Aurelia Cotta, was noted for her strict upbringing and significant influence on Caesar. Tragedy struck early when Caesar's father died suddenly, leaving 16-year-old Caesar as the head of the household. This event thrust him into the limelight in the dangerous arena of Roman politics. Caesar's early political and social maneuvers were marked by his marriage to Cornelia, the daughter of Lucius Cornelius Cinna, a powerful ally of Marius and a leading figure in the Popularis faction. This marriage allied Caesar with a faction opposed to the dictator Sulla, who represented the Optimates, the conservative faction in the Roman Senate. Considering their vastly different backgrounds and political ideologies, what were the key factors that fueled the rivalry between Caesar and Sulla? The political landscape of Rome was tumultuous, with Sulla seizing control of Rome and proclaiming himself dictator. Sulla's return to power marked a dangerous period for Caesar due to his family's ties to the opposition. Sulla ordered Caesar to divorce Cornelia as a test of loyalty, which Caesar refused. This defiance resulted in Caesar being stripped of his inheritance, his wife's dowry, and his priesthood. Facing Sulla's wrath, Caesar fled Rome and joined the military, thus beginning his exile. During his time away from Rome, Caesar distinguished himself as a soldier, participating in the siege of Mytilene and earning the civic crown for saving a fellow soldier's life. Despite the honor and recognition he gained, Caesar's position in Rome remained precarious. Sulla's death opened the door for Caesar's return to Rome, as the political climate became somewhat less hostile. However, Caesar's return was not a triumphant one. He found himself with limited prospects and deep in debt. Determined to rise in Roman politics, Caesar turned to legal advocacy, where he became renowned for his oratory skills and prosecutorial prowess. This period also marked the beginning of Caesar's lifelong rivalry with Pompey the Great, another ambitious young leader rising through the ranks of Roman society. Caesar's career followed the traditional path of the Roman cursus honorum, serving as aedile and pontifex maximus, the chief priest of Rome. His tenure as magistrate was marked by lavish public games and building projects, which endeared him to the Roman populace but also plunged him into significant debt. However, Caesar's strategic use of public spectacle and generosity aimed to secure the loyalty and support of the masses, a tactic that proved effective throughout his career. Caesar's political ambitions and mounting debts led him to form the First Triumvirate with Pompey the Great and Marcus Licinius Crassus, two of Rome's wealthiest and most powerful men. This informal alliance was based on mutual benefit. Caesar needed financial support and the backing of their political influence. Pompey sought recognition for his military achievements in the East and lands for his veterans, and Crassus desired further wealth and military glory. The Gallic Wars not only enriched Rome and Caesar personally, but also significantly enhanced his military reputation and loyal army, setting the stage for his future conflicts with the Roman Senate and ultimately leading to the Civil War. What were the key factors that led to the breakdown of Caesar's relationship with the Roman Senate? The seeds of civil war were sown during Caesar's conquest of Gaul. While Caesar was away, his political enemies in the Senate sought to undermine his power and influence. The First Triumvirate, which had helped Caesar rise to power, had effectively ended with the death of Crassus and the deterioration of Caesar's alliance with Pompey, who had aligned himself with the Senate. The Senate, led by Pompey and fearing Caesar's ambitions and the loyalty of his army, ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. This would have left Caesar vulnerable to his enemies, and without the military power that underpinned his political influence. Caesar's response to the Senate's ultimatum was decisive. In January 49 BCE, he crossed the Rubicon River with a single legion, the Legio Thoratine Gemina, famously uttering the phrase, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast. This act was a declaration of war against the Senate and Pompey. Following the crossing of the Rubicon, Caesar moved swiftly towards Rome. Pompey and many senators, unprepared to face Caesar's advance, fled to Greece to gather forces. Caesar, after securing control of Italy, pursued Pompey to prevent him from marshaling his forces. Despite being outnumbered, Caesar's tactical genius and the loyalty of his troops resulted in a decisive victory. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated upon orders of King Ptolemy XIII, hoping to curry favor with Caesar. In 46 BCE, Caesar defeated the remnants of the senatorial forces at the Battle of Thapsus in North Africa. The following year he quashed the last resistance in Spain at the Battle of Munda, which marked the end of the Civil War. The Civil War had far-reaching consequences for Rome. Caesar emerged as the uncontested ruler of Rome, accumulating powers and titles that effectively made him dictator for life. The Republic's institutions, already weakened by years of political strife, were further eroded under Caesar's rule. His assassination on the Ides of March, 44 BCE, was a direct consequence of his accumulation of power and the fear among some Romans that he intended to become king. Julius Caesar's legacy is complex and enduring. He transformed Rome from a republic teetering on the edge of collapse to a stable autocracy, laying the groundwork for the Roman Empire under Augustus. His life and death are pivotal moments in history, symbolizing the transition from the old order to a new era.